What up, though? This your boy Cuzin P, and you're tuned in to the
Spot.
spot where the ears meet the street.
Here with the players, the best. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you. Damn, I don't even know. I gotta get the shit where your ear eat. What is it? Where your ears meet the street. Where your ear meet the street. The spot where your ear meet the streets, man.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Alaska with the spot where the ears meet the streets. I'm here with two very special guests. Can you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Adrian Petersen.
I'm Erik Landers.
Are you from Hawaii?
I'm not from Santa Cruz.
Oh, same thing. Yeah, okay, I could get that. Santa Cruz definitely has a Hawaii feel.
Definitely
for
does.
sure, for sure. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So let's get right into it.
Awesome.
For people who may not understand exactly what you do, can you explain what a loan originator, loan advisor does, and how you help clients?
Yeah, it's a good question. Most people think like a loan originator, a loan officer, is someone who just gives you a loan, and that's a generic premise of it. Yes. However, us being loan officers, our main goal is to educate people. So we look at the big picture. We want to look at, we call it the CIA: your credit, your income, your assets, and then we want to strategize if you have short-term goals or long-term goals, and specifically the type of product that we have that may fit to what you're looking to do. So that's specifically what we do as an advisor, is we want to educate people. That's specifically what our goal is.
And it's not just on like home purchases, right?
It is not just on home purchases.
That's so funny because something that you said made me realize that it wasn't just that. When I think of a financial advisor or a loan officer, what have you, I automatically go to purchasing a house.
Right.
Right.
Definitely.
But you can be used in other aspects.
All different types of strategies and opportunities with investments, whether it's non-owner stuff in other states, if you're buying, 1 to 8 unit properties, things like that. So there's a lot of different things we can do by just other than you just buying a house for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And even credit repair, right?
And even credit repair. That's something that we really talk a lot about. And I'll bring that up a little bit later. We are hosting a webinar,
okay, yeah.
July 23rd, specifically for credit repair.
Awesome. Yeah. And we're definitely talk about that because that helps with so much.
It does. It does.
And
it's a big part.
I think the typical person doesn't know how to repair their credit.
Right.
It does take a lot of work, but there are specific steps that you can take to really help you and get a lot of things off your credit. And you don't have to wait that 7 years.
You're correct, and that's one of the most important building blocks, of wealth foundation is credit. And
right.
So the house is one of those components, but it's.
What made you get into the mortgage and lending business, and how long have you been doing it?
Yeah, I've been in the business over 20 years, and I got into the business specifically. I was working for Primerica, and Citibank was one of the companies we were doing loans through. It's called the Smart Money Loan. And I learned a lot about that, and going forward, taking that information and then moving into the broker world of lending.
I mean, Citibank is probably one of the largest
Most definitely
lenders, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah. So you learned, I'm sure, a lot. And so was that before this 20 years, or that's part of this 20 years?
That was before the 20 years. And they had a product, it was called a Smart Money Loan, and they were doing this 20 something years ago. And the idea behind the loan is Albert Einstein says compound interest is one of the strongest forces on the universe. And how a normal mortgage works is they wait all 30 days until they cash that check. So your mortgage is always calculating full 30 days of interest every month. How the Smart Money mortgage worked with Citibank is every 15 days they took half your payment. So it was cutting the compound interest in half, which essentially allows you to pay off a 30-year mortgage in as soon as 21 years.
Right.
So you save 9 years of interest off the back end of a mortgage just by doing something like that. That's where I learned that from, was from Citibank, actually.
Are you a math guy?
I'm a math guy.
I love math. I'm over here like, keep talking. Add those numbers. I love it. I love math. Oh my gosh. I could just see your brain going.
Working full time on the brain.
There you go. A lot of people hear terms like HELOC, refinancing, and first linen loans and get confused. Can you break those down in simple terms? I don't think it's linen, lean. Maybe lean loan. Sorry.
Lean.
Yeah,
First lien loan. Yeah, first lien loan is, like it says, first lien. So, but a HELOC can be a first, second, third, whatever place it ends up being. But a first lien is generally a fixed lien, and it's secure, and it's for a certain amount of time. Where a HELOC is like a credit line that you can draw on over and over again as you pay it back. So you can use it to invest, repair your house, do all kinds of different things with it. Typically, people aren't going to get unless you're an investor, get a HELOC for a first mortgage. You'll get a HELOC after the first mortgage to do repairs and investments and stuff.
And the first lien loan, that would be like a HSA or like a first home
FHA.
First one,
yeah.
FHA.
Okay,
FHA
right.
has a first lien.
That would be that.
And
okay.
so HELOC stands for Home Equity Line of Credit.
There we go. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, and so
Home
that's what the
equity line.
acronym stands
Okay.
for itself.
And you would use that when you buy another.
Potentially. There'd be strategies to using that specifically if you're going to use that.
And that's what some people use as equity when they want to put it in somewhere else. That's the type of. Okay, got
that
it.
would be one of them.
There we go.
For sure.
See,
You're on the right spot.
There we go.
Following the crumbs.
Right there you go. Yeah.
Right.
Right now, with the economy and interest rates changing, what are some of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to buy a home?
Yeah, I think the number one mistake is you're not smarter than the market. And so most people everybody's always waiting. I'm waiting for rates to drop. I'm waiting for housing prices to drop. All those people have been saying that for the last 5 or 6 years. Where are you at now? Housing prices continue to go up, 5 to 7% annually. Interest rates continue to go up every year. So your mortgage payment continues to go up every year. And so I think it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Right.
And, educating yourself and understanding, what you look like, how you get qualified, what can you actually afford? Everyone thinks they can afford a certain price house until they get qualified. And then, it might be a little bit of a payment shock seeing something like that.
Right.
And so I think getting educated on the forefront allows you to have the most opportunity when the opportunities come available. And so the market right now, interest rates are what they are. And interest rates are just a little piece of the big puzzle.
Right.
And, we always tell you, you're dating the interest rate and you're marrying the house.
Okay.
And so, you can always change interest rates. And that's something Erik and I talk about is that, when you move into your house, that house is yours. That is your house. The interest rate is the interest rate. And, maybe there'll be opportunities in the future when you can do a refinance and reduce that rate and things of that nature. But at the same time, you own the house. And so every single month that you're paying that mortgage payment, you're allowing yourself to build wealth on that.
Right.
Whereas if you think about, like, if you're paying rent right now, if you're paying $2,500 a month rent, you understand that you're giving your landlord $30,000 a year. So if you lived in your house for 5 years, you've given your landlord $150,000.
That could be your home.
Pretty straight up and down. That's just real simple math. And so, taking a step back and, again, getting education on what does it look like? What does my credit look like? How many trade lines do I need? What does my income look like? Am I saving money? Am I putting money aside for a down payment? Really educating yourself, I think, is the most important thing right in today's market right
What's
now.
a trade line?
A trade line is on your credit. So, like, if you have a credit card, that's a trade line.
Oh, okay.
And so when we look at your credit, we want to see multiple trade lines on your credit. We want to see that they've been open for at least 2 years and that you've had no 30-day lates in the last 12 months. Those are real important things, real specific little steps.
Keep those credit cards open. Do not close them.
That is a great advice.
Yeah, I know a couple things about
You know
credit
some
cards or
stuff.
whatever.
One to add to that is one of the things people need to focus on is your payment. Can you afford this? Are you comfortable?
Right.
Who cares what the interest rate is? Can you afford this? The interest rate can change. So it can only get better when you refinance it. So if you can afford that 5 years down the road, if the rate's dropping up, now you're saving $500 a month on your mortgage.
Right.
And you don't even, a lot of loans nowadays, you don't even have to give up the interest that you paid in. Some of them will let you adjust your mortgage to the term that's left. So if it was a 30-year loan and you paid on it 9 years, well, you have 21 years left. Well, they can readjust your loan to that 21 years so you don't lose your interest. It's really amazing what they can do with that.
I also think people may have a misconception that you like that like they don't understand that you guys are there to help.
Right.
And really help.
Right.
You're not like, you don't want to say no. You're not like this big bad teacher that's like, no, you can't do this. You're like, let me fix this. Let me be the bridge between this and that. Like, give me everything. Be open, be honest, and then let's see what works for you.
Right.
And I think that people have a little bit of a hard time just kind of being open and honest.
Right.
It's like, that's your guys' job is
It is.
to find the best solution for this person.
100%.
And trust me, when we go through everything, when you do a mortgage, somebody's lending you hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're going to know everything about you.
Yeah, exactly.
On your credit report, it can go back 10 years when you lived at your parents' house. and you got to write a letter that explains what is this address on your credit report.
Yeah.
So and
And you
that's what
guys
we're
are
here for,
yeah,
to
and
guide you through that.
you guys are the buffer. You
Mhm.
guys are the ones that are, helping us through that. Exactly.
Yeah, and again, I think it comes back to education. And like Eric was saying, with the interest rates and payments, and a thing that we've been using the last few years is if you like it, lock it. That's what we talk about with interest rates. If you
Mm,
like it, lock it.
I like that.
If the rate fits, if the payment fits, let's not try to guess the market and guess what's going to happen next week or next month or with the oil stuff or anything like that.
Right.
Again, if you like it, lock it. And I think, as Eric said, buying a house is the biggest financial investment you're ever going to do in your life, hundreds of
100%.
thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
And so I think understanding where you're going with it, understanding what the strategy is behind it. Are you going to have kids in this house? Are you going to retire in this house? What is the long-term goals of this house versus just you getting into something because it's a house and you have a mortgage now.
Exactly. For someone who wants to buy their first home but feels like their credit or finances aren't where they need it to be, what advice would you give them?
Talk to one of us.
I literally was like, I
I
mean,
mean,
I could answer that question. Literally, yeah.
You really need to talk to a professional. Don't try to guess it. Don't try to listen to neighbor down the street that bought a house 3 years ago. Go to a loan officer
Mike,
because everybody can qualify for a loan. You may not qualify today, but if you follow this map that I draw for you, then guess what? You'll own a house.
yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah.
You just got to follow the map. Listen to the professionals. That's what we're here for.
And also don't deter when it gets hard. Keep following that map
I think that's really
because
important.
it will get you there.
It will
And
pay off.
so my cousin's wife is a loan officer.
Yeah.
And she has helped. I mean, I haven't bought a house. This is like 10 years ago. Haven't bought a house, but the effort that she put in to help me repair my credit
Yeah.
was amazing,
Yeah.
and I don't think I'll tell everybody in my family about my finances, but I know I could go to her
Right.
and have somebody who really understands and will help me through it. So
Right.
I know how important you guys are because
Right.
again, you guys are the helper in between. You're not like the big boss. It's like, no, you're like, I'm here to assist you.
Right.
You need me. Instead of not buying a house because your credit's not good or
Right.
because you don't have $7,000 million in the bank or what have you. You two are the people that will help people find the answer they need.
Right. Well, and I think that's taking people from trying to. It's overwhelming to buy a house. And I think it's educating people and making them feel confident so that when the choices are presented to them, they can understand that the choices they're making is to the benefit of them,
Right.
and not to the loan officer or not to the person who's pushing the product upon them.
Exactly.
It's a business of trust, and we know that we have trust in the sense that we get to help generations of families that we've helped before. So we get parents who refer their kids or grandkids or things of that nature, and so that in itself allows that we know that we're doing something right when the people who we helped 10 years ago are now sending their kid to me to get qualified for a house, things of that nature. And again, it's they trust us. They trust us. We educate them. We help them make the right decisions for their situation, not for our situation.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. I love that. What's the difference between a traditional mortgage and something like a first lien HEL? What is
HELOC.
HELOC?
HELOC.
HELOC. HELOC. And when would one make more sense than the other? HELOC.
Yeah, so a HELOC, you would be like most people when they buy a house, you do an FHA loan or conventional loan or VA loan, and you get what's called a first mortgage on the house. So that's your regular 30-year fixed mortgage. You're paying the stuff. Once people start to build equity in their house, they may decide to access some equity through a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Now, there would be different options that you do that. Maybe you're doing renovations on the house. Maybe you're going to buy another property. Maybe you're going to do something with a business and you need some cash flow. Maybe you're doing debt consolidation. There's all different types of reason you would use a HELOC for, but you would have to have a very specific reason to get a HELOC. It's not your house is not a piggy bank.
Right.
And that's, a lot of that happened when we were doing loans from 2003 to 2007. Everyone was treating their house like an ATM. And so they were buying these properties with no money down. And then within a year trying to access the inflated equity out of there. And so everyone was underwater real quick when the market turned. And we're in a very different situation now with houses. People built trillions and trillions of dollars of equity now. So we're nowhere in the sense that we were in 2007 when people say, is there a crash? No way. Absolutely not.
Okay, so I contact you guys. I get my first home. I did a first home loan, and then I want to do a HELOC.
Yeah.
do I reach out to you guys again, or is it something I just go through the bank, or like, is this relationship just I bought my house, we're done, or is it something that we continue to do?
You always reach out to
Okay.
your loan officer first. Now, your loan officer may send you to the bank because you would get a better deal through them, but that's what your loan officer is supposed to do.
Right. Okay.
You know, it's a relationship.
Right. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so the one that you trust, you go to and get the information of where to go.
Perfect.
Sometimes, you know, we do HELOCs all the time, but sometimes it does make more sense to go to the bank when it's a small loan that and you're in a credit union and they're going to give you these great terms. Well, go there.
Go there. Right.
You know,
But
I'll
still-
help you. Call me with your questions.
See
you
there.
know?
Yeah. Still
Yeah.
use me as that middleman. And yeah, I love that. And I'm, pushing 40, and I don't have someone to talk to about
Yeah.
money, and I own my own business,
Right.
and I'm moving and doing all these things. So again, and I know what you guys do, but I always put that with homes, right? I think utilizing your guys' services more,
Right.
is what my generation needs to do.
Right.
And I think just having you guys as advisors,
Right.
I love that. And I never even thought about using a loan officer in
Right.
that aspect.
Right. Loan officers like the maestro, they're
Right.
they're conducting the choir. And so like when you come in and you're saying you're self-employed, so now the old school mentality thinks, what's on my taxes, what's on my pay stubs. We can do all kinds of loans for self-employed people. We can look at your last 12 months bank statement deposits. We can look at your Venmo deposits. We can add all those up and then divide it by 12, and then that's the income we use,
Right.
not your tax return income.
Yeah.
So
Y'all know the business.
there's a lot of different things we can do. If you've had a business for a couple of years, Freddie Mac allows you to actually just use your most recent year of taxes on that.
Okay.
So there's a lot of tricks that you can use working with a professional. There's a lot of different things that we can do other than just looking at your tax returns to generate income for you.
And it's funny you say that, because I'm like, I'm never going to buy a house
Right.
because on my taxes, I
Right.
don't make shit.
Right. Of
Right.
course.
So again, you guys can help bridge
Right.
that gap.
Most definitely.
A lot of homeowners want to use the equity in their homes. What are smart ways to do that without putting themselves in a bad position?
Yeah, I think just like we were talking about earlier, if you're accessing the equity, what is the strategy that you're using the equity for?
Right.
So I think that's the first thing that you start with.
Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? Anyone who bought a house in the last 7 or 8 years, before the last couple of years, has an interest rate of, 2.5% to 3.5%. So nobody wants to touch that rate. However, when you get a home equity line of credit, the standard rate on a home equity line of credit is 9.25%. So when you take that 9.25% and that 3.5% you have, guess what the average is in the middle? 6.5%,
Yes,
something like
yeah.
that. So there might be an opportunity for you to come in and let's give you a cash out refinance. Maybe it's 6%, maybe it's 6.5%, but now we give you a termed loan where you know what the payment is. The payment does not change. You have stability and security with that specifically.
I like 6.5 way better than 9.5.
100%.
Way better. Those 3 points, I'm telling you. Yes. So yes. Have you seen people use lending strategies to build wealth? And if so, what separates the smart borrowers from the ones who struggle?
Yeah.
Again, having a plan.
It's the plan.
I mean, look at the Warren Buffetts. I
Mhm.
mean, the people who are billionaires, a lot of those people built specifically off of real estate wealth.
Right.
And understanding that if something cash flows and you have the ability for that asset to continue to gain value in it, it's I think sky's the limit for investing with property and real estate. And it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And being prepared for when the market changes or the market shifts and you're ready to jump on that and you're leveraging yourself. Maybe you access equity from your house, maybe you did something different. But I think that real estate will always build wealth. And I think for people who are mothers and fathers, everybody wants to leave their kid a house.
Right.
And so I think taking that opportunity to understand by the time you retire, your mortgage should be paid off so that you have no mortgage going forward. And then at that point, if you're retirement age, now we can come in and give you a reverse mortgage. Now we can give you some of that equity back to live off of for the rest of your life.
Right.
So there's real opportunities with building wealth in real estate and allowing it to really carry you, and allowing you to pass that wealth on in generations.
For sure. I'm all for it. What are some red flags people should watch for when choosing a lender or a mortgage advisor?
One that doesn't listen.
Mm.
One that just tries to put you into whatever they have and don't explain it to you. There's a lot of conditions when you get home loans. Lots of things go down. If they're not willing to take the time to explain why they're going down, they're really not on your team.
Right.
You know,
Sign here, sign here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No.
I used
yeah.
to work with a guy like that, and I couldn't
No.
stand it. It's
If you
like,
can't
dude.
explain it, I don't want it.
Yeah, I think that's it. And if you don't understand it,
You don't need it.
don't sign it.
Looking ahead, where do you see the housing market going? And what should people be preparing for now if they want to buy, refinance, or invest?
Yeah, I think the market's going to continue to go where it's going. I think you know, we have way more people on this planet than we do houses,
Right.
and so it's just sheer economics. It's supply and demand. You know, everybody needs a place to live. Everybody, you know, would love to have a house. I think as we progress more into the next chunk of years, I think a lot more corporations are going to start buying houses, which is going to again limit the ability and access people have to getting properties.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And so I think that the sooner that people educate themselves and understand the position they're in, enables them to be in a position when opportunities come up, you know, to buy a house or to put themselves in a place like that.
Something that I keep just going back to is you saying, if you like it, lock it.
Yeah.
Like kind of like I'm gonna use childbearing. People are like, when I'm ready to have kids, then I'll have kids. You'll never be ready. Like you're
Right.
not. Just do it.
Right.
The more time you
Yep.
wait, things could change. Just do. And that's what like I just hear you saying that over and over. And I'm like, he's ringing a bell. Like we don't have to ask any of these questions. Like he's giving you it.
Right.
Do it now. Like if it works for you, do it now. Do not wait because waiting is just gonna waste time.
I agree. And it's setting up that lighthouse, you know, being the beacon and allowing people to understand how they get there.
Right.
And that's essentially what we do as you know, loan advisors, is educating people, sending a roadmap. Here you are today. Here's where you want to be in X amount of years. Let's set you a path to get you there.
Yep. There you go. This is how you get there. This is the work you need to do.
100%.
So you said that you have a like a Zoom? No, what was it? A training?
So we have two different. We lead by education, and so the next two events we have coming up, we have one on June 11th. That is at 6 p.m. That is hosted at our office. You can go to my website, which is just loandude.com. Loandude.com. Right on the top there, we have a button on there that says webinars and workshops. And the workshop is on June 11th, 6 p.m. That workshop is an awesome workshop. That is for novice and seasoned investors. And we are going to show you how to buy 1 to 8 unit properties in almost any state in the United States. And all you need is a down payment and a credit score. No income docs at all. That is it. Also going to show you how to do fix and flip. So if you're interested in fix and flips, and again, you have no experience, we're going to show you how to do that. All you need is a credit score and money. So that is that is June 11th. And then on July 23rd, we're going to be doing a webinar on credit. And the webinar on credit is going to be hosted with our partners, Blue Water Credit Repair.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Oh, and the one on the 11th, is with Boyer Financial.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you did your website. Are you on Instagram?
We are on Instagram. Loan Dude.
Loan Dude.
Loan Dude's everything. Loan Dude on Facebook. Loan Dude on everything.
And then do you have a storefront?
We do not have a storefront. We have an office, and so if you we're appointment only.
Okay, so just reach out online.
Reach out to us. Yep.
Website.
Yep.
We'll get in contact with you.
Yep. And if you're interested in registering for any of those classes, just simply go to loandude.com, hit the button, register. It is totally free.
Perfect. Awesome. I'll be there. So I hope to see all of you guys.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
This brother from Detroit